Give me the next 10 minutes and I'll show you why not posting on social media is costing you millions of dollars. My name is Jordan Rodriguez and I've spent over 10,000 hours researching and producing content for business owners just like you. And so here's the thing, you don't need to waste time or money on cold leads that have no idea who you are or what you sell. Just think about how easy it would be to grow your business with customers that are fully involved with your vision, your purpose, and trust you wholeheartedly. Your sales team would definitely love you. But my promise is to help businesses out there like you generate business with content marketing strategies that actually work. So look, if you're here for one reason. That's to grow your business. And why not do that with having a content marketing strategy that can boost your sales exponentially? At Bit Media, we actually film and execute everything in-house for your brand. In this video, I'm going to show you the strategies to fix that. Attracting real buyers and positioning your brand so people trust you before they ever meet you. We have a bonus tip for you, so stick around so you can learn how to use ads and content together to generate you more leads. So starting off with what platform actually works with your business. So multiple different businesses perform better on different platforms. So we're going to give you a list for Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So pause, do whatever you need to do. Those lists should have been on the screen, where it basically has a list of different businesses that are better for that platform. Mind you, all of these businesses will do well on any social media platform. You just have to prioritize the ones that are going to perform better. We've realized that these businesses actually have a quicker time growing and making more money off of these platforms because it's tailored with an audience for their needs. If you already have an audience, you can use any of these platforms, but make sure you have enough bandwidth and a team behind you that's gonna make sure that all the content is producing with quality over quantity. It doesn't matter if you're big or small. If you're a big company, you still need to prioritize one platform until you can maximize that channel and actually produce really good content for that page. If you're a small business owner, do the same exact thing, and then you'll see how one platform can generate you tons of revenue and be perfectly fine for your content. And when you want to shift into having different channels on social media platforms, every single platform is completely different. So make sure that you're prioritizing the platform and the quality that people want to see. Your audience on that platform will be different, and people on there are primed to look at different types of content. So make sure that you're prioritizing the content and being selfless with the content you produce. Hey, really quickly, if you're a business owner doing over 15K a month in revenue, go to bitmedia01.com/grow. You'll be able to fill out a form where we can give you 3 free videos completely on us for $99, but you get your money back when you give us some testimonials, referrals, and reviews. Fill out the form at the website. I appreciate it a lot and hope to see you soon. And to break the belief of you thinking that you can't perform on any platform, take SB Pressure Washing. He's a company that is service-based, and on top of that, he's producing content for TikTok. Like, the audience on TikTok is way younger than the audience on Instagram. Of course, he's producing content on those as well, but his TikTok platform actually performs better, and it's because of the fact that it's results-driven content. Client testimonials, people actually enjoying the work, and young kids are seeing this who have parents. Who do you think they're gonna tell? And to talk about why you're even posting content in the first place as a business owner, I can't stress it enough. It's building trust, brand, and awareness with everything that you post. Everyone has a personal brand, every single person. So if you're not displaying that clearly as to what you do or who you are, then you're not gonna have anybody that knows you. Of course, there are businesses that are performing extremely well, not producing content. But at the end of the day, it is the thing that grabs everyone's attention. If you have 10,000 to 100,000 followers, you are getting into the room with anybody you want. You are talking to whoever you want. And on top of that, your ads are going to perform extremely well because of it. So let's talk about trust. You posting content about a client testimonial, how real can it get when you're seeing somebody that has, like, just put yourself in the viewer's perspective. You see yourself talking to the client that you had and them saying that they love your work. Like, that builds instant trust. It's some random person that they don't know, but you're also somebody that they don't know. and they're seeing your relationship with that person and showing off the trust. And then when you want to talk about brand, if you look at Rolex, go on their Instagram page, you'll be able to see how coherent and aligned everything is. The channels that they have to go through to making sure that it's content produced for the right of the brand, like it aligns with the brand, is extremely powerful. And everybody will know exactly what you do when you post content that is rightfully on your page, rightfully with your business. And then lastly, we'll talk about awareness. Every single person that posts a reel on Instagram has the potential to reach millions of people. Millions of people. Instagram just announced the amount of billions of people that they have on their platform. I think it's about 3 billion people on their platform. And you have access to that for free. And you're not posting. Like, it makes absolutely no sense for you not to be posting on a platform that can get you in front of 3 billion people. That means there are 9 billion people in the world. Sadly, like 3 billion of them do not have access to Instagram or phones or any device, like the internet, period. And you take 6 billion of them, and half of the people in the world that have access to the internet have an Instagram account, and you are not posting. Like, that doesn't make any sense, because you have every single ability to reach millions and millions and billions of people at your fingertips with your iPhone. And to use different platforms like a funnel, you want to talk about which ones are going to be top of funnel, middle of funnel, end of funnel, right? Let's just break this down really quickly. We have TikTok. That is going to be your awareness. It is going to drive so many views because of the fact that their algorithm is so good at producing views. Like, the engagement rate on TikTok is by far the highest one. So for people to engage with your content and see what you're producing, it's more likely to happen off of TikTok, and it's extremely short form content. Like, it is not a long video whatsoever. Sometimes you can post a long video on TikTok, but it's not going to perform as well as the other one, depending on how good it is, of course. So TikTok is going to be your top of funnel awareness, but it can definitely drive sales. If you are in e-com and you are not posting on TikTok, you are at such a loss, because there are so many people on that platform that just like to purchase products relating to you. Think about the algorithm like a pool of fishes, right? And you have the specific type of food that only crab like to eat. So let's talk about the sea. You put in a little bit of food that crabs only like to eat. Think of all the fish, all the sharks, all the animals that are inside of the sea. You put in food that only crabs like to see. That's how specific TikTok will get you to your audience. You giving them exactly what they want, that audience then eating that food or eating up your sale or buying your product from the thing that you posted. And it is such a valuable way to do that. And now Instagram is coming out with their own Instagram shop, but you also can utilize Instagram as a top of mind awareness. Instagram for your top of funnel, which improves your awareness and generates leads. Of course, Instagram is a lot better in terms of what the followers' value is, because most of them are older, and they're also more inclined to engage and DM you because of the fact that TikTok it's sort of anonymous or unanimous, kind of like Twitter, if you will. But people on TikTok are less inclined to talk to you because of the fact that they don't know you at all, and that's how they want to stay. But when you talk about Instagram, way more of a personal brand, way more of faces shown. Everyone's looking at what everyone else is doing, but it's a very easy platform to utilize when you're talking about your top of funnel going to conversions, because you can sell a lot more off of Instagram. If you have 100,000 followers on Instagram, you have 100,000 followers on TikTok, you're gonna make more off of Instagram. And on top of that, let's talk about YouTube. So YouTube, if you have 100,000 subscribers, is going to be way better than having them on Instagram or having them on TikTok, because all of those subscribers have watched so many hours of your content, it's not even funny. Tai Lopez talks about this, where essentially your content What matters to the viewer or what matters to a buyer is the amount of times that they've watched your content and for how long. That's an extremely important rule of thumb because you want to think about, okay, look, this person has watched 9 hours worth of my footage. What is the likelihood that he buys compared to somebody that's watched 5 seconds? And like, that's the difference. That is why streamers are blowing up right now. That is why they're performing extremely well. And it all comes down to the fact that every platform performs differently for viewers. There's top of funnel slash middle with Instagram, and then you have YouTube, which is going to be conversions a lot more. And I want to put Facebook in this category as well. Every single platform is different. LinkedIn is also a great platform for conversions because everyone is primed to sell or buy, but everyone is more or less primed to connect via LinkedIn on the end of funnel with LinkedIn. And to utilize it as an actual funnel, all you need to do is, let's say you make a YouTube video, right? That's 10 minutes long. Use a software like Opus Clip, dare I say, or you edit it yourself to clip it, and you will take clips from the YouTube video that you think are the best, distribute them across all of the platforms. When you distribute them across other platforms, people will watch that and say, oh, who is this? I like his YouTube video, or I like his content. Let me see if he's on YouTube. And they'll go to YouTube where you will have the most conversions. YouTube will allow you to improve your SEO a lot more too because you're adding backlinks to your website. But not to get into that. The YouTube videos will perform as it's a higher leverage point. You make a 30-minute video and you have 20 different pieces of content that you can produce on all other platforms, sort of like a clipping account. If you don't know what clipping is, it's fine. You can search it up anywhere you want. But essentially, you can clip your own videos to create more content and see exactly how people can funnel into your YouTube. But you don't have to funnel them there. Every single platform can produce its own type of funnel. Like, you can have content on TikTok that is extremely viral, and then you have your sales pitch as the pinned post. That's how you do it. You want to make sure that your pinned post is either your most viral piece of content or your most salesy piece of content. And I prefer to do both. And then also, if you're in educational, like B2B, like me, having it where you're educating somebody on that last pinned post. And you do that with Instagram and TikTok. And that is how you utilize these platforms like a funnel. And obviously, when you get people to watch these videos, they'll go into your YouTube, hopefully, but not always. And treat every platform like its own island, because I promise you, TikTok is going to perform better depending on the content that you're producing on it. It is meant for people that are primed to buy, but also primed to react in a very negative way, dare I say. And in Instagram, it's primed to be a lot more engaging, a lot more, let me fight for this guy, and let me help this person because I like their content. Let me follow them. Let me shoot them a DM. And especially when you make a piece of content that's salesy, that says comment this word using ManyChat automation, then you can be like, here's my lead magnet. If you watch Alex Ramosi, if you don't, basically have an offer that is something free, something with low barrier to entry. Give it away for either free or a very low cost. I prefer free. And then comment this word to get that, and you can set up an automatic response to those people, get a lead, etc. Either way, utilizing this funnel on Instagram and utilizing it on TikTok and then utilizing it on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn will perform extremely well, especially when you use them in the way that I said about pinning your post and making sure that you're running ads possibly on these platforms. And that leads me into the bonus. So we'll talk about Instagram and Facebook ads and why your content is extremely important for them. So let's talk about the algorithm for just a second. When you think about Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc., all of them have an algorithm that's made to make people stay on their platform, right? If they're trying to make people stay on their platform, they are trying to make people watch your videos. And to break this down, it's the same analogy that I gave you with the fishing in the sea. So when you're fishing in the sea, you put your content into the sea, and essentially people will watch what they like. If a shark doesn't like to eat, let's just say, I don't know, some type of salmon, they will not eat the salmon. Let's say they like to eat the crab, they'll eat the crab, right? And that is your viewer eating your content. So when you throw your content out there, it says, oh wow, this shark likes to eat this. Let's find other sharks like you or like that person to watch this content. And they'll all eat it up because they all like that piece of content because they found a shark just like that. And to break this down a little bit more, you want to do that with all of your content, but you also want to do it with alignment to your brand. So for me, I'm a B2B owner or a business owner, whatever. And for us, we work with business owners. So I need to produce educational content for my business owners so that they can like it. And then if you're like you who are watching this video, if you're a business owner, somebody else that is a business owner will be watching this video because of the fact that YouTube saw that you were a business owner and said, hey, let's go find more business owners to watch this video because then people are going to stay on this platform. And that's essentially how that works. But when you do that for so long about posting content for education to other business owners, then YouTube is going to be like, oh, this page does this. Instagram does this. So to break it down into Instagram's ad perspective, when you make a bunch of content, if you have 1,000 followers of all business owners and you're like me, then you're going to be like, all right, let me run ads. Instagram is already going to know your audience. Of course, you can change your audience when you run ads. I'm not getting into that. So the thing is, you can do a custom audience to people who only have engaged with your content for a retargeting campaign. This is going to be 20 to 30% of your ads. And then you have another campaign, which is going to be 70%, which is prospecting funnel. And you're going to create a lookalike audience from the 1,000 people that follow you that are all business owners, and you're going to run ads to those people for prospecting and for retargeting. Of course, Meta right now is having something going on with Andromeda, but besides the point, the main idea is that you're targeting the people that really watch your content. And when you produce content, you have that ability because you're producing content that they already want to watch. So more people will come into that pool for you to say, here, I offer this. And as many of those people want to say yes to you, that is exactly how you will sell a lot more with your ads. People who have a personal brand have so much of an advantage when it comes to the multiplicational factor of ROI or ROAS. It's that simple. People know who you are, they trust you because they have already seen a video of you, and it is a warm lead so that you can get a way higher percentage of people to buy your product or your ad. And it's because of the fact that you're creating content in the first place that this will work at all. Thank you so much for watching this video. At the bottom of my heart, it means the world to me. Please hit subscribe, share, or like this video. And in the comment section, tell me what business do you own and what platforms do you currently post on, and if content has actually been your worst nightmare or your best friend.